to have spoken to both coaches, and they both felt from the series last time they had things to learn and adapt. And now, what Doombros was saying is, now I've got footage, I've got things to work with. And I think both teams are going to prep incredibly heavily for this game, have direct counters. But one of the things that is almost impossible to counter is Durka playing this aggressively. Already, though, a really fun move into the site, and Boaster, well, he's already been punished by Angel. You mentioned both their names, and Angel takes the win this time.
Yeah, Boaster might have won out the battle before. His team might be rated that little bit higher right now, but Angel certainly packing a punch on that Yoru. Already the pick paying off, Tom. We'll see if that's going to be consistent. TP strat the pistol. Now we move on to FBX post plant. Good kill to start with. The Xiao goes down, but Angel 10 HP to his name, and he's still fragging. A second already. He's going to be lurking around, allowing his teammates to do the rest of the work. And Tom, they should have that locked down. There's more than enough alive here. Nice wall, though.
Okay, the wall up. It should be broken, but actually they should be able to get this to half. Never mind. It's going to be the trades back. Enzo trying his best, but the time is ticking, and it is gone, unfortunately. FPX are going to get off to a flying start with a pistol round under their belt, and now we get to see how they can build into this attack inside.
Well, Tom, the attack coming in with the Yoru, I mean, how are we feeling about that right away? We haven't touched on your thoughts here, but I personally, looking at FPX, looking at the comp they're bringing to the table, there's a ton of what Angel loves to do, which is just making your opponents uncomfortable. A ton of opportunities and pieces of utility that can just ruin your day.
It's sort of like in the series we saw previously with Angel playing it on Breeze. It's super disruptive. It takes a lot of space. It avoids a lot of utility. And basically all of the setups that you had before suddenly become worthless because he can bypass, say, for example, your turret or something that would normally give you information like a trap. So these are all things that FNATIC are going to have either worked out prior, which, okay, I'm sure this is something that Boaster and Mini have considered. The thing is, on the other side, you always have to watch out for this man, because Angel can't get anything done if Dirk has already killed him.
Yeah, a strong start with a headhunter. And you see FPX immediately back out, regroup. They know now that that fight is not going to be offered up again, at least not from the same angle. What they don't know is that it won't be offered up at all. FNATIC have rotated completely. The B side is stacked. There's 3 players around middle and kitchen. Back 4 now as Viper moves on up, and they're going to crunch mid late. Getting here as the other team is left and not playing the info around this area anymore. They should have an early B stack. The question is whether they decide to flank. And it's being watched by a trap. Oh, good kill.
Spike down B.
This is already starting to get a little bit scary. 2 found for Durka. He's been one of,
30 seconds
if not the very best player we've seen so far this season already. They're going to use the poison orb to bypass the trap. It's something I mentioned for Angel, but it seems like it can be done on the other side as well. Saigetsu, he's already been domed. Alpha has just come up with 2 kills off a pistol alone, and now it's left all onto Ardis. He can only spray down so many. It's a quick resurgence from FNATIC. They may have lost the pistol, but they'll strike back.
A phenomenal round coming out of Durka. Yes, the play at the end is fantastic to get past that trap, and you could see how that blindsided them, but it's the very start of the round. You don't typically get to make a team play that slow and respectfully. Like, when they've got rifles and you're coming in on an eco, even a force fight, 9 times out of 10, they are going to be commanding the pace. They're going to be doing what they want, and you've got to adapt to them. Or rush it down mid or something and usually just get mowed down. But what Durka did was sneak his way into Nest, be extremely patient in there, catch Angel, get out, reset to the other side of the map. FNATIC called the stack there. And again, it's the right read. The flank play couldn't have been better timed. That was some cerebral play from FNATIC. Now a bit of trouble starting to brew, though. Durka will eventually get the trade.
The only rifle. That's the thing. This is something that I now want to see whether or not FPX are actually going to fully sort of fight for this, because getting that back is one of the only things they've really invested into this round. Also, if they manage to force Durka back, there's a second gun to be had, so a lot that can be played around. Now, I will say, in my mind, this game is very much like 55-45. Like, in the open season, I think it's clear that FNATIC did better, but ultimately, FPX are a team that's always worked well with counters, and already they're putting up a real fight in this round as well.
That they certainly are. Having already closed in the distance, the only problem is what we just saw on the screen there. Spike way behind. I got to go and get it. That's going to delay them that little bit longer. run that clock down. I wonder what that does to FNATIC, though. These guys stop pushing. They stop making noise. You start to think, is this B, guys?
They can just go back. The only real issue is that there is still utility on the other side, but I think they are almost just trying to bait out that time, trying to force a rotation from FNATIC. The thing is, though, Durka is still firmly within the site. Like, clearing this position is not going to be easy, and even if you do, yeah, he's still alive.
I know he's moving his way back around, but the challenge is on offer. They've heard him drop down. The trap being destroyed. Good kill. 10 seconds. They need the plant. There's wall bangs coming through for good damage. 30 HP. Artist had a chance, but Durka, oh, he took that chance right out of his hands. Defuse coming through for Boaster. Get that Viper's Pit close to being online. And with Durka popping off like he is in these first couple of rounds, he's already got his tour de force.
Yeah, that is a terrifying prospect in itself. The fact that this round was so costly, though, is a pretty good sign for FPX. Like, they've been able to reduce the economy of their opponents. As said, well, as you said, it's going to be bolstered by the fact that Dirk is just going to be able to invest into the tour de force in the next round. He can probably drop that gun over if they need it. They've also earned up quite a lot of ults, but the same can be said on the other side. Like, you've got the Dimensional Drift not far from being online for Angel, which, as said, that's just going to cause absolute havoc. Especially when you have to consider they're sort of playing, I'm about to say something that is almost as cursed as the fact that Chamber is a Sentinel, but they're playing a double Sentinel. And he can basically just ping all of the traps. Like, everything that you're playing around, he can just go, it's here, 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 and here, and then they can just go into the site and break them all. So it's fantastic for information, especially on a map like ICEBOX, where a lot of the time you could walk into quite a few traps.
There's plenty of teams out there that, you know, they could use this ult, they could get the information, but not have a goddamn clue what to do with it. And I think for the likes of FPX, having someone like Angel, he goes in, he sees that setup, and he puts all the dots together in his head instantly. I like that TP used up there. Gets rid of the Yoru running through the decoy that was in play. They're going to flash and make an aggressive play right to the back. That was a nice attempt out of Angel.
That was bold, I'll put it that way. And actually, they haven't cleared this angle properly. I'm a little bit wary, because Durka is still sat in this backline. He can't escape, though. Bear that in mind. There is no escape at this point. So they will just trade him out, but a trade at this point is absolutely fine after Angel's already fallen early.
Certainly no chance for a Viper's Pit. They are going all out, though, on FNATIC. Dumping everything they've got into this round. Hunter's Fury, they've even got the lockdown to push them back, and that is going to stop the plant. 40 seconds there about left, and that's Xiao Detain's Spike Carrier, but they can cover him.
He actually threw a nanoswarm into the only position left on the site that could have been left. Alphayo with the big brain, and it's just bought so much time. 20 seconds left for them to now make this move into the site. There's still utility. They've even got a snake bite going in, shot dart combination as well. They are just tapping away. Nice shot from Zipan, though. However, everything's fallen apart. Solid hold out from the likes of FNATIC, and a few little details in there which just make that perfect.
We spoke in the previous game about Guild, and we said that, okay, their roster right now, they had an easier run through the group stage, right? Well, FNATIC had the harder group, and they were the only team to go 5-0. They didn't lose a single series. They looked dominant. They played Ascend. The FPX game was incredibly close. It was this map here of ICEBOX, 13-10. Only barely got it across the line.
Let's put it this way. There's only one team who's banged FNATIC on a map, and that is FPX.
Yes. Yes, 100%. And now, look, it was returned because obviously the fracture was 13-3 in FNATIC's favor, and that's where we'll be finishing things here. But I don't know, Tom. I think if you get an easy game like that against FPX, the same goes for FNATIC with the Ascent. But if you get an easy game against FPX once, I reckon that second time you play the map will probably be the hardest game of your life.
That's the thing. It's a risk for both sides, like playing the same map again versus an opposition of this caliber. I will say Fracture is one as a third map that I'm sure FNATIC are going to be very happy with. Angel's just gone straight in. I love this space taking from him. Again, it just causes so many issues while the rest of the team just go for what is basically a default take. He's already made it all the way into the site. And bear in mind, he does have his ult, so he could just go running about. He is, however, dead again to Mystic.
Yeah, playing with the pistols here, you're not going to want to throw too much at this. I think if they had a kill or two, maybe. Yeah, for now. See what they can get done. They obviously have an idea of what they're willing to commit to this round, and one of those things is this ultimate to stop that utility from clearing them out of back yellow. This could do wonders for them on the way through. Artis Really tanking up a little bit of that snake by a little bit of the decay. He's just sitting on that orb waiting, and they were not ready for it. But the TP back. Now they're back on the spike. He's going forward for more, but he won't get there in time. I don't think he's quite managed to run that clock all the way down. A very good attempt, though.
Yeah, again, I will say, if you're not going to use the dimensional drift, I feel like using the null command later might have been a little bit of an oversight, because I feel like, especially with the Euro not being, it's not amazing. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are just calling it like a slightly more expensive, like recon, or maybe a drone. But yeah, I would have thought maybe just use it to get out of there and just try and get in the heads of your opponent a little bit, but fair enough. You're going to keep that for the next round. The other thing that I think would be a wonderful combo is using it alongside Hunter's Fury, because that's about as free as information you can get of where someone is standing.
Well, there's certainly a lot of players outside A, and I think Dirk was hearing that. I don't think he cares all too much. Going up aggressive, having that TP to back off. Here comes Angel sprinting his way up and through the spawn. He's got a TP going on into their spawn. Big flash going in. And that's just pulling these players' attention, right? These guys are now focused and looking towards this site. And all this was just to get that TP in towards the spawn and slow down any sort of a retake coming out of them. They've got Angel, though, so no TP to play with. Good shock.
Nice shock dart. Not quite going to finish off Xiao. Again, though, in all of these retakes, there just seems to be an advantage for FNATIC. Picking these players off early and leaving so little to try and fight back with. Zipan's just been decapitated on his way back through. So I get to at least fighting back a little bit, but eventually he falls as well. Again, Ardis, last man standing to try and clutch things out, and well, absolutely nothing found.
I was really living in that fantasy world that Angel was going to make the TP to spawn, spin, and just mow them down, and we'd be like, oh, it's the best agent pick we've ever seen, Tom.
Now, Durka can definitely do that, I would say, the simple side of it as well, but in this game so far, he has been device. It's just been one shot out and then repositioned to try and take another fight again, and that's impossible to play against. And
this is where I think FPX have to start diving back to more regimented play. You got to be thinking about the utility you're putting on these angles before you go, using someone like Zipan to make sure that he can't get out of there for free and you can force the trade, or Angel's flashes to cover these angles as you're going through. I think you have to now become very cautious about wide peaking angles, about going for these dry peaks, because it's been proven that the majority of the time that you go for that, somehow Dirk is on the angle. Doesn't matter where you go, he'll be there. This time, he won't be. He's on A. And FPX are making their way slowly but surely to the B site. They've got a wall to get them close, and they've got a Viper's Pit to get them a plan.
Already you can see some counter utility being thrown out. I think it was a fake TP utilized from Boaster from the top ropes. Got his revenge for the previous rounds. Alpha with his back as well, and most of the team now starting to rotate in. In fact, Boaster's actually going to throw in a Viper's Pit of his own. Counter it out before it's even gone through.
They were almost waiting for that, though. Now planting on the edge, safely inside their own Viper's Pit that's been put down. Good control for FPX, and they can back out of this. The only issue is that you have to keep Sagetsu close. And him being close, well, unfortunately means he's either in a very predictable angle in his ult that they can spray, or he's inside their ult. Oh, here we go.
See the barrel?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. It seems like they're both surviving for now, but Sagetsu within it has already managed to find 2 kills. One of them as well has dropped that Viper's Pit, and although Dirk is going to attempt the defusal, the afterplant from FPX is just too strong. 4 players survive. A good bounce back as well, because it builds your economy just that little bit. Of course, on the other side of things, Mitch, FNATIC, they're doing okay.
Yeah, they can look at that round as a hiccup. You lost B, they closed in and put Viper's Pit down. That's a pretty tough round. You know, the majority of the time, it evens up the odds in their favor, even when you put your other one in play. Just comes into a coin flip almost on those engagements. It was really well handled by Sagetsu, pulling back from the side, even allowing his own Viper's Pit to fall, because they had stuck around inside of it. There was nowhere really safe for him to hide. Like I said, you know, he could have stayed close and been in a very easily spammable, like, narrow part of his ult. Easy to be forced out of that, and then you're in the open. Well, he's dead now. He's died in spawn. In fact, a mid push just came out of Alpha Air, and he's caught him with a little head peek angle over the top. So that's a disappointing loss. Oh, an Angel down.
And now Angel's been picked off as well. They are just back into this sort of pick play. I almost think that FPX are just going to have to go for almost like just some of these standard takes together. Just have an opportunity to trade, because right now in straight up 1v1s, they are being battered. It's not even close. And again, with players like Alpha and Durka being the 2 highest rated players in the entirety of EMEA right now, yeah, taking raw fights versus them is probably not the best idea, even if they are coming to you.
Another for Durka. He is just racking up kill after kill, making his way towards another tour de force. Player spotted on top. He'll even take his chances there, and now reposition down below. Try and pick another. The question isn't even whether FPX will survive this. I feel like the fact that they're still edging forward, they're looking to win this round, Tom. At least they're looking to do some damage, put a dent in this FNATIC economy, but that ain't looking all too likely. The same move from Durka, and the same result.
That's the thing. I feel like if you look at his camera right now, he almost seems bored. It's just like, oh, yep, I've got myself a kill. Now I'm going to... And that's the thing. It's almost like he's just bound his left click to also teleport. Because it is the second he shoots... It doesn't matter if there's another player. It doesn't mean if he sees anything else. Yeah, no, maybe that's another one from his...
and his right click to left click as well, so he can quick scope teleport. It's the new meta.
But that's the thing. It's like he's not giving them any opportunity for a trade. He's not giving them any opportunity to put utility because they don't know where he's going to be. And it's impossible. Like, and unless they're going to isolate him very early and find out his position, Durka is going to continue to run riot. The man is almost running at a 2 kill per round. Like, that's absurd.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. The impact. I mean, straight from round number 2, that headhunter. Durka's definitely been commanding the pace of this game. Angel's going to try to sneak his way through mid with a decoy. See if anyone was going to be taking the bait, but no one did. Now we wait. See what FPX's plan is. I mean, this operator obviously wants to catch someone off, but it looks like they're going to drone in a second and spot it out. There you go.
Yeah, Artist can kind of afford to play a little bit more risky in this round just because of the fact he knows he has the tour de force for the next. So you might see him making some more audacious plays. Now, bear in mind, the last time they won on this site, they did have a Viper's Pit. That's no longer available. So getting in is going to be a lot more difficult and a lot more reliant around that space being taken. Of course, they don't have themselves the Sage to actually get them the wall down. So it's definitely not going to be easy.
Okay, so Yoru TP used to at least gate crash his way into sight.
Spike planted.
And now he's had to TP out of the way of the Hunter's Fury and got killed. So not great. At least getting them to plant, but like with these weapons especially, they need something crazy to happen here. Defender ult in play. It's being defended. So no one's going to be able to shut that down, although Durka at least falls. Artist, but this operator still looking good, but they're closing the distance now, Tom, and well, the numbers could be difficult to deal with up close. They're already tagging him. They're slowing him as well. Got no TP out of here. 14 HP and a shock dart from Enzo to catch him and finish him off.
FNATIC are playing so fantastically well at the moment. It just seems like every single push or play that they're making has something to back it up. A slow to get him stuck in the corner, a shock dart so that he can't move. He can't peek quick enough to actually get the kill. And then obviously everybody else is just being isolated one by one. I will say, so far, Angel's Yoru has not impressed me at all. Like, it's basically just been, I can take some space here, but every time he's been shut down, it's not causing a spanner. The FNATIC players aren't panicking and, like, losing their minds. If anything, they look like they're ready for this.
They definitely do. I think this Yoru play, it might not have been something they came in expecting. I don't want to say that necessarily, but they have adapted to it very well. They don't seem to be getting caught off guard and surprised by it. And that kill came in on Alphair, but his body fell back down the ramp, so free res, no wall even needed for that one. We're right back into even footing. It's exactly what you want if you're FNATIC in this round. You know, you're up against pistols. Should be able to close it out cleanly. The one danger really being that tour de force, and well, now that it's been spotted and accounted for, it'll be a lot harder for Artist to find his own opportunities. Flank.
Just waiting on the angle. But yeah, the flank's coming through. There needs to be a quick kill, and the thing is that TP was almost used as bait. I think we're going to check it. No, they're not. It's just free for Enzo, and he actually only gets one of them. Again, the bait and switch seems all too comfortable for FNATIC. 8 and 2 up, and well, I feel like we're running out of space now for FPX. As I said, like going into this, I thought this would be a close series. This map was very close last time, but I feel like it's, again, we go back to almost that old school problem we always had with the likes of FPX. They love these gimmicky sort of like one-off things that they're going to attempt. If it works, they look like geniuses. If it doesn't work, you get this.
That's the thing. We very much drew that conclusion about this comp before, though, when we've seen it from many different teams where, yeah, if your opponents are like really confused by what you're doing and they're not ready for the Euro, they don't know what you're able to do, it can be something a little bit tough to deal with. It can get you a lot of value. But when they follow your TP all the way into the spawn and just stare at you and then, well, it's a fake, and it's pulled them off the site. Maybe this was the idea all along. And another one's coming through. Oh, he's being flanked down and killed.
Okay, well, I guess they didn't expect Durka to be in a surprise position as well. They are taking liberties with the amount of map control already so deep within the A site, and in the meantime, we're seeing that push in towards B. Ultimate's not going to really be an issue, at least from the FNATIC side. They don't have anything to play with other than a tour de force. Whereas now, with a null command and also a Hunter's Fury, this could actually be a decent afterplant, but they're all within the site.
Ton of control for FPX up close, but they've got to win the fights then. Not going to have that fallback position. You can't run the clock. Trade it out 1-to-1 right away. Artis is falling. Shao below the site. He is trapped right now, but Sugetsu's holding his back. With him gone, it's become so much more difficult. Good reposition though. Left it down to a 1v1. The orb up, the tap on, and the recon about to come through. But what's Shao going to do right after? Because he's just revealed the player. Actually, that's enough to pull him off the defuse. And what's Poster doing? He's going to tap it again, look for the kill, but Shao's won it off time.
Oh, still close in the end, but yeah. Maybe tried to bait the runaway that he was just going to save and almost try and fake things out so that Shao would leave. But at this stage, I guess Shao, they just need the rounds. I don't think they care as much about their economy, which is definitely dangerous when you look at the position they're currently in. A lot of ultimates close and almost online for either side. But even getting a fourth here, like that's the thing. This half has not been close. Does that mean they're out of the game completely? No, like a good chance for Artis to step up in the second. It's definitely going to be tougher for Durka. I say tougher because I don't think he'll go 18-6 in the next half, because if he does, they will lose, or they will have already won, sorry.
The wall up tour de force.
It's just gross.
Utterly despicable play. In the best possible way. They're starting to move back around here. I mean, the question is the ice going to melt before anybody peeks this? It looks like yes, but I'm seeing a lot of players start to shimmy their way over to this side, and that wall's still pretty healthy.
Are they about to fight mid?
It's got another little bit on it. Zipman's on his way.
But look at the drone.
Who's next?
They're pushing into mid. It's about to be spotted by Angel's ult. The dimensional drift is going to see almost everybody. Timing's going to be everything, but it doesn't matter. It seemed like he still had the angle, but it's not connected. And now Angel's coming in on a far more aggressive position, so Durka's had to fall all the way back.
No TP anymore, even if it was still within its timer. That ult through by Zipan going to get them a lot of space. Far back, Hunter's Fury coming through, and Angel's finally gotten the reward. They will drop him eventually. A stylish play. Let's see if it pays off. Already the kills and numbers equalized. Things are looking a little bit scary. Behind that box, Artis hasn't been spotted. He might have to jump on them. He might just be able to catch one, but he's got 3 enemies and a lockdown to deal with here, Tom. How does he get out of this one? A TP, but he'd still be in the lockdown. And they've shot him just to guarantee it. 9 rounds on the board. A solid half for FNATIC.
Yeah, really impressive. Again, a few small, nice little ideas coming out. Like
EPs, they're instantly swinging in and taking them down, even if they hadn't. It was a good reaction, good containment. FPX come in with 3 rounds. They need a pistol.
Time to jump.
And Angel, I don't believe you're going to actually do this.
Dead fool.
Well, not the greatest of starts.
Toxin screen down.
TP into the spawn of Poster! Just 180 headshot him. Sure, it gives Artis a kill back, but that trade really isn't worthwhile. The rest of the team are already making their way through in towards this A site. Deep wall as well, something they can't really do anything about. And again, we're going to see a very solid position for Fnatic and FPX having to fight back tooth and nail.
You definitely see the idea behind it. Angel trying to TP and draw their eyes, but again, the value not really there. Good, very well dealt with by Fnatic. His push up top, well, Artis, the 2 players below him, he hadn't spotted, and I thought Mystic was dead there. Seemed like 4 bullets just hit him in the head, but somehow he's still walking around, and the majority of Fnatic walk out of this with their lives 10-3. Tom, this is getting very scary for FPX. I mean, they very reminiscent of the last time they played, like the first map.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, though, with these 2 teams. I almost wonder if it's just going to be a battle of mind games. The only worry for me right now is just how underwhelming some of the players on the other side have been. Now, I'd be gobsmacked if FPX are going to change their comp going into Ascent. I'll be honest, I think their Ascent has been fantastic, especially with a lot of their executions involving Fade. But, like, Saigetsu, other than, I think, 1 round, which he won for them in the Viper's Pit, completely absent. We've not seen much from Xiao or Angel, other than, obviously, Angel just basically TPing into sites and getting shot in the face. It's not looked good. And even just on an individual level. And that's right now where they're just being blasted. Sure, the setups, the executions have been fantastic, but I don't think Fnatic have actually had to do too much just yet.
Player standing.
I have to agree with you there, Tom. For FPX, every plan that they've had has been underwhelming. It hasn't connected.
Yeah.
And as you said, this is how taking risks like this looks. Sometimes you come in and you look fantastic, and we can't stop praising the incredible agent changes and how brainy it was to do this ahead of the game and so on. And other times you come in and your opponents, unfortunately, they are familiar with this kind of setup in some way or another. Nothing's catching Fnatic off guard. These TPs at most are getting 1 kill and done. At least they're just getting Angel completely ruined. And I can see how this exact same approach from FPX could work against a lot of teams, but right now Fnatic seem to have come in prepared. They seem to have been wise to the tricks.
I think the other thing as well is just Fnatic's communication. I imagine it's clean enough that you're spotting out all of the tricks of the trade that he's trying to get done. Angel, good spot though. He's actually going to be able to find one off the back of the judge, but again, Alfia is so quick on the trades, not allowing anything more. Boaster lurking, trying to catch them on the rotation. The timing couldn't be worse. And although this bonus round still has some legs to it, FPX are in the driver's seat for now.
Arguably, it's already been a success though for Fnatic. And now they've got a plant. Obviously, a little bit of an awkward nano swarm down below. Hasn't quite landed, but it won't get used either. No chance for it. Enzo up top, last man alive. He's been detected. Good kill. A little damage follow-up. Okay, there's a chance here. Seems to have a decent idea on where both are coming from, but Artis powers through with his 3rd kill of the round, and I think a defuse here to get Tour de Force.
Yeah, it's something I think that they're going to need going into the next round. Just give them that little bit of an extra edge on some of these more aggressive positions that Artis is going to be able to take, but also just to secure some extra economy. Because as you mentioned, like, if you isolate the round, it's actually quite a success for Fnatic, just with the amount of damage they're able to do. They're going to come back in with another purchase. They farmed up quite a few ultimate orbs along the way as well. Like, sure, it wasn't on one particular player, but nobody's more than, what, 3 orbs away from having their ult online. That's the worry for me right now, is that even if FPX do mount some sort of a comeback, start grinding the rounds out, you're probably going to have all 5 ults online at the same time.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy to deal with. It's almost a guaranteed round, right? If you come in like that. Great shots.
Yeah.
Up top by Zipan. Couldn't take down the recon, but luckily his position as unknown as it can be when you fire 10 bullets from the spot for the Vandal. Do they think someone's pushed all the way up? Yeah, they do. They're going to use a drone as well.
Oh, timing! Zipan catches Boaster. That's going to be all the Viper utility gone from the round, and they still haven't met Artis' tour de force. It's something they're going to be very careful of course, but knowing that they had such an aggressive position, you can already see a rotation coming back from Angel, just in case they've fallen. Instead, though, they've actually pushed up quite far, managing to take an awful lot of space. And okay, Boaster might be gone, but they're still going to get themselves into this after plant.
Double nanos down on the side as well. So good post plant to play with there, at least for Alpha. Yeah, having no Boaster obviously going to hurt losing out on that utility, but if Mystic can grab a kill, he might be right back into the round. That might be why we see Mystic staying up close. He's caught Angel. But I mean, how do you get out of here? He's being revealed. He's being spammed. Good night and sweet dreams.
Even still, though, the time is starting to tick. Nano Swarm's not gone. Durka's aggressive position is going to be clear, but they still have line of sight in this after plant. Shock darts also being utilized to force them off of the spike, and a couple of nice kills coming out from Alpha here. It's all falling apart for FPX as FNATIC will hold the line. The young Turkish player, again, just doing so much for his squad, and it did seem like FPX had that one in the bag, but unfortunately, they just haven't been able to cope with this 1-2 punch of FNATIC.
This has been incredible. I mean, obviously, these teams, they've faced each other so many times in the past. I think with a core, though, obviously we're looking at a little while. We had like Dirk and Mystic Boaster would have been the FNATIC that played them, right? 3 times off the top of my head. So they're teams that are intimately familiar with each other. But FPX obviously making a lot of changes. They look very different in this map. They come in with something that I really don't think FNATIC will have planned for this this exact thing. I'd be very surprised if they did. Fair play to whoever scouted that out. But like I said, thinking on their feet has been fantastic. And I think that the addition of Enzo, secondary IGL, with one of the biggest brain IGLs that we have of Boaster, he learned from the man of Angel on the other side. That's what you expect from this team, and only goes to confirm this is one of the best out there. Good kills though.
Okay.
FPX, they're in this round.
Yeah, this was not the best of purchases, as they had some pistols in there as well, but they managed to make this one look good. KJ holding them back. Oh, they've been faked out a little bit there, but still trying to fight this one. Enzo's found another. It's again the same duo of last round, and this man has been a terror to deal with. A little bit of damage taken. Angel needing a headshot, and he will find it. His third of the round, a rifle.
Ration from FPX, right? It was incredibly close on ICEBOX last time, and they came through here and had that underwhelming performance. Now here's Tour de Force right off the bat. It's going to be Durka looking to deploy that towards the B site. He's soon to get a peek from Sugetsu when that wall goes down. With Artis up top, good control, good bait setup. They don't necessarily need to peek on range. And their idea here is to bait the players in. They may just do that. Poster's been spotted, and there goes Tour de Force.
Actually, Artis sticking around. Still just fighting back and keeping this position for far longer than he ever should have done. I guess playing with just a Spectre isn't too much of a problem. Alpha is going to get there in the end. Enzo's just found another. Again, every time these two players seem to be alive, the round isn't close, and then suddenly is.
They are so lucky that they took down Boaster. That they took down Mystic, excuse me, because they got a Boaster back online. Right now, Viper's Pit online to play with. Instead, there's still a very real chance for FPX to make this work. Now, they've spotted a player still outside, and both of these guys are super, super low. This round should be FPX's locked in. I mean, what a way to close the map this would be. With 30 seconds left, opportunities are limited, and FPX don't seem keen to give FNATIC any opportunities.
They also haven't found weaponry, which is the unfortunate fact of this close position play by Artis with a Spectre. Enzo has managed to cross, but eventually Angel will put it in. Again, still none of these rounds have been particularly clean, and the problem is FPX, even in that round, had economy issues. Now, Artis, the reason he stuck around to farm up those kills is because he is now one away from that Tour de Force, and again, that can always bridge the gap a little bit. They are going to have rifles going into this one, but again, there's going to be a very strong purchase on the other side. The only ultimate that was used was the Tour de Force. And other than that, they've still got a very good amount of ults ready for this round.
6 in a row. It's a big task. Like you said, those ultis, they can certainly help them out. We've already seen Artis over on that Tour de Force. Won't be getting a chance to start this one. Angel seems to have walked all the way up on B long, snuck his way right up behind them into their spawn. They're watching for it for now. How long will Boaster hold on to this control? And in fact, he's just looked away as the TP comes in, though. So they're not going to complete that flank. Instead, gambling a little bit that this is an A play.
I think with the deep control that's already being spotted out by Artis, they don't really need to go for any rotation back just yet. Drone through. We're also going to see the fake out utilized. Mystic left with just one part of the wall remaining. Somewhat is going to be forced all the way back. The thing is, though, Xiao in the meantime has completely fallen. And actually, the attackers are running back.
It's the right read, man. They've just run into so much utility. They know that KO is there. They know Angel's there. They also saw the Viper's Pit go down. But they don't want to fight that, man. 3 players, Viper's Pit. No, they're moving over to the B side. Now, the ult from Angel's going to get this information. He's also got a TP to rotate a little bit quicker. He's going to even spot the player waiting around middle. So this, canceling out, looking to try and cause some fake information. It doesn't seem to matter. FNATIC are winning the fights on the other side. He's like, yeah, guys, they think I'm flanking, so they'll be a little distracted. Guys, artists, no one's there. They've all dropped, and now FPX, they've got to fight back in to that Viper's Pit.
Yeah, the FNATIC might as well throw it in now. Such an advantage. Althea will fall. That's the lurk play gone. That at least gives them a little bit of extra space. Angel trying to bait someone into taking some shots. You've still got the Hunter's Fury, but it's not going to find anything. There is no one anywhere near that spike. And now Angel left 1 versus 4. He knows exactly where one of the players is, can clear out a first, but there will be nothing more of it.